Many years ago, in the village of Ida, 16 years old Ilebaye walked briskly along the narrow footpath leading to her school. Her green and white uniform clung to her slim frame as she adjusted her school bag. With her hair tied neatly in cornrows and a shy smile always lingering in her face, she was known in the village as a quiet and respectful girl. As Ilebaye neared the village square, a black SUV came to sudden stop beside her. It was rare to see such a vehicle in Ida, and she turned her head immediately. The tinted window rolled down, revealing a young man with a charming smile and confident eyes. "Hello, pretty girl," he said. Ilebaye paused, her heart beating fast. She recognized the face instantly. Oche Odoma, the first son of Chief Odoma, the wealthiest man in Ida. Oche was 21, tall, handsome and popular among the village youths. Many girls dreamed of him, but he rarely spoke to anyone outside his circle. "Good morning, sir," Ilebaye greeted, lowering her eyes respectfully. Oche chuckled. "No need to call me sir. What's your name?" "Ilebaye," she replied. "Nice name. I have seen you around. You look familiar. You live near the old well, right?" She nodded, surprised that he even noticed her. "I can drop you at school." Ilebaye hesitated. Everything about her upbringing told her to say no, but the excitement in her heart made her nod. That ride to school marked the beginning of something new. From that day, Oche would always stop by in his father's SUV, offering her rides, snacks, and kind words. Before long, he was waiting for her after school too. At first, Ilebaye was confused. Why would someone like Oche be interested in her? But each time, he held her hands and smiled at her. Her doubt melted away. She told herself she was lucky, chosen by someone so admired. Oche didn't just have good looks, he had power. As Chief Odoma's son, he never lacked anything. People respected him, greeted him with wide smiles and bent backs. He also had his father's money to throw around, and his generosity made people love him more. For Ilebaye, it felt like stepping into another world. Oche introduced her to things she had never known before: pizza from Lokoja, perfumes from Abuja, and expensive gifts wrapped in shiny papers. He gave her a small phone, and though her mother was skeptical, she accepted it reluctantly. He would sometimes take her to quiet spots near the riverbank, where they would sit under the large mango tree and talk for hours. He told her about his dreams, his travels, and how different the cities was from the village. "You are different, Ilebaye," he would say. "You are not like those other girls. That's why I like you." Her heart would swell with joy. She felt seen, special. Oche became the air she breathed, the smile on her face, and the reason for her joy. At home, things were changing. Ilebaye now spent more time on her phone, giggling at Oche's messages, and less time helping her mother with chores. Her mother, Ojima, noticed. She was worried, but didn't say anything. The villagers noticed too. Women whispered when they saw Oche's father's car parked near their compound. Young girls stared at Ilebaye with envy. Some boys even mocked Ilebaye at school, calling her Madam Chief's wife. But Ilebaye didn't care. She was in love. As weeks turned into months, Ilebaye's entire life began to revolve around Oche. She started skipping school, claiming to be sick just so she could spend time with him. Her grades began to drop, but she didn't notice. She didn't even care. Oche's presence in her life was like a strong wind. It swept away everything else. He would show up with surprises, new shoes, and wristwatches. "This boy is giving you everything now. But what will happen tomorrow?" Ojima asked her daughter one evening. Ojima would scold Ilebaye sometimes, locking her indoors to make sure she does not go out to see Oche. But no, every attempt she made failed as Ilebaye always had an escape route. "He loves me, Mama," Ilebaye would say. "Love is not money. Love is action. Don't forget who you are because of gifts. Ilebaye, you are too young for this. And if he truly loves you, he would wait." Ojima would say. Ojima even threatened to send Ilebaye to her sister's place in the neighboring village just to sever the relationship, but nothing worked. Ilebaye wasn't listening. In her eyes, Uche was perfect. He always knew what to say and how to make her feel like the only girl in the world. He made her laugh, called her pet names, and always told her she was beautiful. One evening, as they sat by the river bank, Uche leaned closer and whispered, I don't want you talking to other boys. I am your man now." Ilebaye blushed and nodded. She didn't want anyone else. She was completely his. Rumors started creeping in like ants on spilled sugar. Girls whispered that Uche was also seeing other ladies apart from Ilebaye. Some claim he had a girl in every village around Ida, but Ilebaye refused to believe it. "They are jealous," she told herself. "They wanted what I have." Ojima one evening sat her daughter down. "You are young, Ilebaye, and sometimes love can be sweet and dangerous. Leave this man alone and focus on your life and future. As your mother, I have seen better days and I know what I am talking about." But her words fell on deaf ears. Ilebaye's love became an obsession. She believed Uche was hers and hers alone. Things changed quickly when Ilebaye saw Uche talking to another girl by the market square. The girl was slim, light-skinned, and wore tight jeans. Uche laughed heartily at something she said, and that laughter pierced Ilebaye's heart. She waited until the girl and Uche had departed before approaching her. "Stay away from my man," Ilebaye warned her, her eyes flashing with anger. The girl scoffed. "Is he your husband? He is more than that. Try me and you will regret it." From that day on, Ilebaye began monitoring Uche like a hawk. She would check his phone, follow him secretly, and show up unannounced. Each time she saw him with a girl, she caused a scene. Uche would always calm her down. "They mean nothing to me. You are the one I love." And Ilebaye believed him. One night, she lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her heart was full of love and pain and confusion. She had marked her territory, but why did it feel like her man was slipping away? 5 years had passed since Uche first stopped Ilebaye on the road to school. She was now 21, no longer the shy secondary school girl, but a grown woman, still hopelessly in love with the same man. But something had changed. Uche had grown distant. He no longer called every night or came by as often. He still gave her money and gifts occasionally, but the warmth in his words were gone. His compliments were now forced, his touch casual. At first, Ilebaye ignored the sign. She doubled her love for him, showing him with affection, cooking his favorite meal, and even praying for him out loud, hoping it would melt his heart again. But her efforts only seemed to annoy him. He became more irritable, often snapping at her or blaming her for things that weren't her fault. Ilebaye cried silently many nights, confused and hurt. She still wouldn't let go. She told herself it was just a phase. Things would go back to the way it were, she told herself. Then came the day she saw him with another woman, fat, dark-skinned, and dressed in fine lace, laughing and whispering near the yam market. Ilebaye's heart pounded. She didn't confront them that day. Instead, she followed the woman home, carefully memorizing the route the woman had followed. The next morning, she returned. "I came to warn you," Ilebaye said when the woman opened the door. About what? The woman asked. Stay away from Oche. He is mine. We've been together for 5 years. He is my husband. The woman busted out laughing. Na you carry man for head o. If he is yours, why is he with me? Ilebaye left, shaking with rage. From that moment on, she made it her mission to chase away any woman she caught around Oche. She marked her territory with her words and fists. No woman would take my man away from me, she told herself. Soon, it became 1 week, one trouble. Ilebaye did not spare any of the ladies she saw with Oche. She was always seen fighting at the market square or on her way to the stream. The village began to buzz with stories of her street fights and public confrontations. Some people praised her for fighting for love. Others mocked her for turning into a village fighter just because of a man. Her mother Ojima grew angry and weary. This is not the daughter I raised, she said one day. Mama, they are the ones coming after my man, oh, Ilebaye insisted. Even if so, a man who truly loves you will not give you battles to fight every day now. But Ilebaye couldn't hear reason. She was too deep in love. One morning, Oche called her unexpectedly. Let's get married, Ilebaye. Ilebaye's heart leaped. She had waited for years to hear those words. Despite all the pains, all the fights, she still believed they were meant to be. The wedding was simple. People in the village came to witness the union of Chief Odoma's son and the girl who had fought for his love. Ilebaye wore a golden lace gown with glittering earrings. She looked like a queen and felt like one too. Yes, I got him at last. Her mother was not as excited. She sat quietly. Through the celebration, her eyes were thoughtful. I hope this brings you peace, she whispered as she hugged her daughter. Ilebaye smiled. She didn't hear the worry in her mother's voice. She was just too happy. She paraded herself around the village, telling everyone that Oche was finally hers forever. But forever began to crack sooner than expected. 1 month after the wedding, Ilebaye started seeing the signs again. Oche would stay out late, return with lipstick stain on his shirt, or lie about his whereabouts. His phone was always locked, and he became more secretive. At first, she tried to ignore it. It's just the honeymoon that is ending, she told herself. But soon, whispers reached her ears. Her friend Ngozi told her Oche was seen at the local bush bar with 2 young girls. Another woman said she saw him at the river bank with a lady in red wrapper. Ilebaye lost her patience. The fight started again. First with the women, then with Oche. She would slap the girls, drag them in the market, and scream at her husband at home. Oche always denied it. They are the ones chasing me, oh. I don't want them. It is you I love. His lies were always sweet, and Ilebaye, still lost in her loyalty, always forgave him. He is my husband now. I can't leave him. I have to make it work, she told her friend Ngozi one day. But the peace never lasted long. Then came another woman, Omi. She was different though. Omi was not slim like the other ladies. Omi was hefty, dark-skinned, and carried herself like a queen. She sold fabric at the big markets and was known for her sharp tongue and heavy fists. When Ilebaye heard about her husband's affair with Omi, she didn't hesitate. She went straight to her shop. I don't care who you are, Ilebaye shouted. Leave my husband alone. Omi raised an eyebrow. Then, control your husband. I didn't call him. He came to me. Ilebaye's anger boiled. I am warning you. Don't let me come back here, oh. But she did. Days later, Ilebaye returned, even more furious. She jumped up, raised her hands to reach Omi, who was taller and heftier than her. And then, that was the mistake. She slapped Omi. Omi didn't waste time. She grabbed Ilebaye like a bag of rice, lifted her up off the ground, raised her and turned her around and slammed her into the sand. Then came the punches, hot, brutal, unrelenting. People tried to separate them, but the damage was done. When the crowd cleared away, Ilebaye laid on the ground, her face swollen, her body bruised, and the shame of her being beaten mercilessly. When the crowd cleared, that evening she managed to get up. When she got home, she packed her belongings in silence, crying. Oche wasn't home. She didn't wait for him. She walked out of the house, her head low, her heart shattered. She returned to her mother's hut, collapsed into her arms, and wept. Ojima held her gently. I warned you, my daughter, but you did not listen. Oche heard what had happened and did not even bother to look for Ilebaye. He had moved on quickly with Omi. Returning to her mother's house wasn't easy for Ilebaye. The same village people who once envied her for marrying Chief Odoma's son now whispered behind her back, calling her village fighter who was beaten hands down. Shame enveloped Ilebaye like a blanket. A whole Ilebaye that had fought almost all the village girls for her man was now defeated and mocked. Children would run past, giggling and chanting, "Wife wey dem beat comot for house." Old women shook their head when they saw her. Ojima tried to shield her daughter from the shame, but even she couldn't ignore the talks. Let people talk, she told Ilebaye. You are alive. That's what that matters. Ilebaye didn't respond much to people. She would sit in front of the house, staring at the dusty road, hoping Oche would appear and beg her to return back home. But he didn't. Days turned into weeks. No calls, no messages, nothing. He had truly moved on, she whispered to herself one night. It was the bitter truth. Slowly, Ilebaye began to accept her new reality. Life without Oche was painful, but it was also very peaceful. She no longer had to worry about fights, tears, or chasing after women in the market. She slept through the night without hearing Oche sneaking in. There were no lipstick stains to explain, no lies to listen to. Her mother encouraged her to pick herself up. Come to my farm with me, Ojima said one morning. Let your hands find work and your heart will find healing. Ilebaye agreed. She followed her mother to the cassava field where the sun beat hard on her backs. Walking under the hot sun, Ilebaye began to sweat out her pain. Each stroke of the hoe was like a release, a letting go. After the farm work, she helped her mother fry garri and even sell pepper in the local market. Her hands, once used to fight, were now used for walking. But healing wasn't a straight road. Some nights, the memories would come flooding back. The good ones, the way Oche touched her cheeks, the time he surprised her with her favorite perfumes, the day he lifted her and called her his queen. And then the bad ones, the lies, the betrayal, the constant fight for his love, the bruises. She would cry silently, pressing a pillow against her face so that her mother wouldn't hear her. One day, she saw Oche in the market. He was laughing with another woman, younger and fresher. Ilebaye froze. Oche didn't even glance her way. He walked past as though she didn't exist or he had not seen her before. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she didn't chase after him. She didn't scream or fight. She simply turned away. That evening, she told her mother, I saw him today. He has really forgotten me. Ojima only nodded. That's the best thing he has done for you. Let it be. Months passed and with them came some blessings. Ilebaye started her own small business selling fried akara and kunu by the roadside. It wasn't much, but it gave her something to wake up to. People started to see her differently. No longer just the girl who fought for a man. She became the hardworking woman who made the best akara in the village. Even the elders took notice. One of them, Baba Alaji, approached her. "My daughter, you are strong. I see the change. Don't look back." A local carpenter named Abuchi started buying akara from her daily. At first, she didn't pay attention to him, but Abuchi was kind. He would joke with her, ask about her day, and help her carry her table when it rained. He never pushed, never flirted too hard, just kind and steady presence. One evening he said, "I don't know what that man did to let someone like you go, but he's a fool." Ilebaye smiled faintly. One quiet morning, while Ilebaye was arranging her table for the day, a young boy ran up to her. "Aunty, somebody say make I give you this." He handed her a folded paper and ran off. She opened it slowly. The handwriting was familiar. Orches. She stared at it for a long moment, heart beating fast. Then, without reading it, she folded it back and threw it into the fire she used to fry akara. The flame swallowed the paper, coiling into ash. She looked up at the sun, wiped her forehead, and turned back to her frying pan. As Ilebaye's business flourished, people began to forget her troubled past. Mothers in the village now used her as an example for their daughters, urging them to learn trade and build a life with their own hands. Abuchi remained regular at Ilebaye's akara stand, always with a soft smile and patient conversation. He never mentioned Oche, never asked about her past, and never made her feel broken. The silence was the loudest comfort. One afternoon, as she served hot akara to a group of customers, one woman leaned in and whispered in her ears, "Oche is now living with that fat woman Omio. People say she controls him like a puppet." Lebaye smiled faintly. Good for him. Maybe that's what he needs. The woman looked surprised. "You are not angry?" "I have used up all my anger. Oh, I had." Ilebaye replied, "I don't care anymore." She meant it. It was no longer her concern. Abuchi began showing more interest slowly and respectfully. He invited Ilebaye to church services, helped her build a small wooden shade for her akara business, and brought her paper and onions for the market. "You are doing too much," she said one day. "Not enough," he replied with a smile. "You deserve more." The villagers started to talk again, but this time it was a different tone. That Abuchi is a good man, hardworking, respectful. If he marries Ilebaye, she go enjoy oh. But Ilebaye was hesitant. Her heart was still healing. Trusting a man again felt like walking into fire. She confided in her mother one night. "What if I fall again? What if I love the wrong person again?" Ojima held her hands. "You did not fail, my daughter. You only loved with all your heart. But this time, walk with your eyes opened. Not every man is Oche." Just when Ilebaye began to feel at peace, Oche showed up at her akara stand. He looked thinner, his face tired, his clothes less polished than before. "Ilebaye," he said softly. She didn't respond. Her hands continued turning the akara balls in the hot oil. "Please, I want to talk to you." "Then talk now, I am listening," Ilebaye said. Oche sighed. Omi chased me out. She said I am useless. She beats me as though I am a punching bag. I made a mistake. I should never have let you go." Ilebaye finally looked at him, her face calm. "You made many mistakes, Oche. Many mistakes. But the biggest one is you are thinking I would always be there. I am not the same girl you once knew. Give me another chance," he pleaded. "Please." She shook her head. "There is no chance left. Go and build your life. I am building mine." When Oche saw that she was not budging, he walked away, shoulders low. Abuchi waited a few days before asking the big question. They were seated under the mango tree near her mother's compound. The evening breeze was soft against their skin. "Ilebaye, I know you've been through a lot. I've watched you grow stronger every day. I am not UCHE, and I don't promise you perfection, but I will give you peace. He reached into his pocket and brought out a simple silver ring. Will you be my wife? Ilebaye's eyes filled with tears, not from sadness, but from the strange calm that washed over her. Can I think about it? She asked. Take all the time you need, he said. That night, she lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her life had taken so many turns, from a girl who gave everything to a man to a woman leaning to love herself. She wasn't sure what tomorrow held, but she finally believed this could be good. Days passed. Ilebaye didn't rush her decision this time around. She prayed. She spoke to her mother. She listened to her own heart. One morning, as she washed clothes by the stream, she felt something shift inside her, a kind of clarity. She dried her hands, picked up her baskets, and walked to Abuchi's workshop. He looked up and smiled. Hey you! She didn't say anything. She just brought out the ring from her pocket and placed it on her finger. Yes, yes, she said simply, I will marry you. Abuchi stood frozen for a moment, then smiled and hugged her tightly. You've made me the happiest man in the whole of Ida, he said. Thank you for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed watching, and kindly let us know the valuable lessons you have learned from this story in the comment section as we interact. Like this video please, and kindly subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Please share out this video to your loved ones. Until I come your way again with another story, for now, from me it is bye.